As we draw closer and closer to the inevitable reveal of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet, we're getting some interesting mixed signals, but some interesting stories out of this because we're not sure what Microsoft has up their sleeve in terms of, are you going to be able to play games on the Xbox One X that are also on the next generation hardware? It's looking more and more like Sony plans on having a differentiating sort of circumstance where people actually have to have a PS5 to play PS5 games. Now, that's not saying that there won't be cross-gen games, because it's looking like some of those end-of-the-generation exclusives are actually going to be, cross-gen. Sort of like what Nintendo did with Zelda on the Switch and the Wii U. So they're going to be different versions, but they're only going to be on both platforms. But later on down the road, like, say, Uncharted 6 or whatever it is, you're only going to be able to play that on the PS5. Whereas I think Microsoft is going down the road where, hey, you might be able to play the next Fable on your current hardware. Now, if this turns out to be true, where these developers are working on multiple PlayStation 5 games that allegedly aren't possible on the Xbox One X, right? Which means that Microsoft would really have to step up. Like, how would that work out? Like, I'm a little bit confused on how this all would kind of work out, given that Microsoft plans on having, well, at least seems to indicate that they're going to have some type of forward compatibility, at least for a little while. Potentially, it could even be Xbox One S going forward with forward compatible. And I know I've had lots of people and developers tell me, oh, well, you can scale it. Well, if it was that easy to scale no matter what the power was, I think the Nintendo Switch would be getting many, many more games. So I do think that there is some kind of cutoff point, obviously. With that being said, if the PlayStation 5 is getting some kind of game and it's exclusive because it can't be done on Xbox, that could be a problem for Microsoft going forward. And I'm not sure exactly, like I said, if this turns out to be actually true. It's going to be very interesting to see what Microsoft does, because the way I see it, you can't have games going to the competition that you can't play on Xbox based on the fact that you want to carry older hardware. Now, I'm not opposed to carrying older hardware. I just think that it would make much more sense if Microsoft were to actually go out of their way and, sort of do their thing and allow, people to take full advantage of it. Like, so few developers, unless you're AAA, are going to take advantage of the Xbox One X. It seems like we might not even get a game that take full advantage of this entire generation, or what's left. And so next generation, I think Microsoft has to be careful that they don't sort of force developers, because they're very good at saying, oh, developers don't have to do this or developers don't have to do that. They don't even have to support the X, right? Of course, they want them to support the X, but what happens when developers are making something super technological on the PS5 and possibly having to put that stuff on the old Xbox hardware means it's not on Xbox at all? Something to think about, food for thought. Let me know what you guys think. Microsoft's going to have to step up their game for sure. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.